Joining us on the program, Evan Knappen, the General Counsel from Pro Gun New Hampshire. Evan, how are you, sir?
Great. How you doing, Kim?
I'm good. I'm a little confused, though. I'm hoping you can help me out with something.
I'll be happy to.
All right, so I'm reading this op-ed in the Boston Globe. Headline, Craigslist case reveals need to enforce existing gun laws. Talking about the case of the Craigslist killer, Philip Markov, who killed 25-year-old Julissa Brisman at the Boston Marriott Copley Place in April of 2009. The Globe says that New Hampshire needs new, more restrictive gun control laws because the following happened. Markov shows up at a gun store in Mason, New Hampshire, with a fake ID. It's a New York driver's license belonging to a guy named Andrew Miller. Markov says, well, I just enrolled at a local college here in New Hampshire. I want to buy a gun. The clerk says, well, you need to get a residency affidavit notarized by the city. So he goes to the city clerk's office. He writes out a form, misspells his name, gets the notarized record, goes back, and gets a gun using the notarized residency affidavit that the city clerk had produced. Evan, how does this mean we need new gun laws in New Hampshire?
It makes absolutely no sense. The law was followed. It was federal law followed, and even at the time when this story broke, the media was all ready to believe that the sale was done illegally, and it wasn't. It was done lawfully, and if you have somebody that's going to commit a fraud, they're going to commit a fraud, and it would have been great if this fraud could have been caught, but it wasn't. But the gun shop did nothing wrong, and more gun laws in New Hampshire isn't going to change that situation. What always bothers me is how come Massachusetts, which has the bad gun control, they have the bad crime?
Well,
think about that. Why is it? Shouldn't New Hampshire be overwhelmed with crime?
One would think. Yeah, one would think. But this to me, the Globe says if this is a common way to verify residency for the purpose of buying a gun, then it's worse than ineffective. It's a sham. But look, here's the thing. This guy, as you said, this was a fraud. This guy broke the law. This guy presented a false ID. And the city clerk apparently didn't look at it, or if he did, he didn't see any problem. All right, you look like the guy. The Globe says, well, we need new gun laws, but they never actually say, what law could be passed that would have stopped something like this from taking place, Evan?
There is no law that would stop that, and that's the the Boston Globe is always with their agenda going after New Hampshire. And it's just another distorted article from them. It's just amazing, and this is a really good gun shop. I know the owner; he's a good guy, and it's a shame. But this was a bad person, this Craigslist killer, and blame the gun shop, blame gun laws. It's this knee-jerk reaction. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it really is. I'm guessing, Evan, that the New Hampshire legislators probably don't like being lectured to by the Boston Globe, particularly when their argument is so weak.
Yeah, they're not paying much attention, luckily, to that. We've had some really good success so far in New Hampshire, some major progress, legislatively. So, we're keeping our fingers crossed that we're going to get it all through. Constitutional carry and stand your ground, and all kinds of good pro-gun laws.
What's the what's the latest? How's the legislative session going so
far?
Well,
it's been going really well, and it's a constitutional carry passed in the House for no license necessary to carry your handgun. Also, addressing the duty to retreat, getting rid of that, and additionally other solutions, particularly to address the Ward Bird issue, the ability to simply display a firearm to avert a crime, such as a trespasser on your property, and be able to display a firearm to do that. These issues have all made progress. Also, preemption for knife laws. Even they've expanding the preemption to knives, another 2A issue. So that's been working out well. But I tell you what, today, just as a side, I had a trial for a guy who was charged with illegally carrying a handgun in New Hampshire, of all places, and it had to do with in his vehicle. And what his fiancée had a carry license, and she had her gun that she had purchased, and it was in a computer bag behind the driver's seat, and she was driving, and he was a passenger. Now, he's not a prohibited person from possessing, but he didn't have a carry license, and he was charged with carrying a loaded handgun in a vehicle, even though it was her gun, her license, her she's driving the vehicle the whole bit.
Yeah.
And so we had this trial, but this is one of these moments, Cam, in lawyering that it's just amazing, because the officer's theory was that my client could simply look to the left, look behind her seat. He could spot the bag. He'd be able to open that and access the firearm, and he could easily do this. And this is somehow to be construed as a violation of New Hampshire law. So in cross-examination, I asked the officer, is that your theory, that he would look to do this, look over there and see that and be able to access? Yes. I said, please take a close look at my client. And I kid you not, I then had my client remove his left glass eye from his head. Popped out the eyeball. I said, officer, do you notice that my client does not have a left eye? Do you think that would interfere a little bit with your theory? In court today, Cam.
Evan Nappen's Matlock moments. That's awesome.
Yes, the Matlock moment.
Hey,
he was acquitted. Oh, yeah, the judge even says that he doesn't have a left eye, and he's right-handed, and this, jeopardized other folks that, if you carry your carry gun, just one of those absurd cases. But popping the eyeball out in court, that's one from my storybook.
That's pretty cool, actually. I mean, so I got to ask you, Evan, like when did you decide I'm going to have my client pop out his eyeball in court?
Well, here's the thing. I knew he had a glass eye, and but I never thought about it till the officer was explaining how he could just look to the left. And it suddenly hit me. My client can't look to the left unless he has an owl head, So I said this. So I whispered to her. I said, look, on cross-examination, you'll know on my cue, I'm going to ask you to do a demonstration.
Oh, this is why we need cameras in the courtroom.
Believe me, I wish
Evan,
that one was on film.
You'd be on YouTube right now. There'd be like 14 million views. Who could resist that?
That was just, that would have been definitely solid YouTube material. I don't think they video in that. Now you got me curious. I'm going to check. I don't think they have cameras in there, but that would be, that'd be it.
Well, if you need to do a reenactment or something, I'll be happy to stand in for the prosecutor, and you can just shoot the horrified look on my face as your client's eye comes out.
It was great.
Well, congratulations to you, Evan.
Well, as my client said, he'll keep an eye out for me, So,
Hey, Evan, thank you so
Cam.
much, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank
we'll talk
you.
to you
See
soon.
Bye now.